again, to go back to that metaphor of where we are compared to we were with the internet era, we're in 1999 now. We're 98, 99, somewhere in there. It's very similar. People are now going, well, we really have to be in mobile now. And money's there to do it. We're not just talking about it, budgets are happening. And we're there. But the thing is, we're all still on 56K dial-ups, just like we were. We don't have ISDN to our house. We don't have cable modems to our house. Hard to remember that day, but Jesus, I heard a modem sound the other day, and I was like, whoa, like seeing a ghost, you know? It's like, ooh, it's kind of scary. Anyway, the speed of delivery to the mobile web is going to increase just like it did with the internet. It's already increasing. I've got my Sprint 4G here, which is lovely in this area. There's a few parts of the country where it's fantastic. And that's great. And everything's going to happen faster. And at the same time, whatever Akamai did to the web, that's going to happen in mobile. And things are going to move from the app world back to the web world again. It's our belief. And the enhanced web application, as we talk about it, is something we're really excited about. This, I hate to give a date when it's going to be available in the App Store, because every time I do, it gets pushed a couple of weeks. But we have a device, a browser called Mobius. And Mobius is a web browser which enables native hardware support for web applications. Let me say that again. Native hardware support for web applications. You surf on over to a website, and the web app, which is hosted there on the mobile website, will access the camera, will access GPS, will access your contacts, whatever you want it to do. You will be able to then download this app directly into the Mobius browser. We're not going to be out there doing a browser war. You won't see a big campaign, download Mobius. You won't see that. But when you go to the site that has an enhanced web app, it will prompt you, much as Flash does, to get the most recent version. You'll go get Mobius, it will then work, it will then store it on the device. This enables a direct relationship between the publisher and the end user without going through the Apple tax, if you will. There are all sorts of interesting advantages here beyond that, and it's something where it's imminent. This is early July, and it should be there soon, because that's the date I've heard. Gamification. We were just at the E3 conference in Los Angeles because we like games, and games have money to be made in them. And it's still growing, and people will throw around $1 here and $1 there. We actually acquired this little company, this Tap.js, which has got a great hosting engine and this whole leaderboard engine, which is really cool, and for player badges and stuff. And that's really kind of fun. We bought it because the guy. I mean, it's one of those kind of acquisitions. But Direct Canvas was something which we developed, and again, that's a pending release. But the big knock on HTML5 for games was it was too slow. It didn't render fast enough. This renders at 5 times the speed the HTML5 is currently rendering for games. So it makes the little birds fly around much faster. There's a great little video on the website of our Chief Technical Officer demonstrating this, and it's pretty impressive. So we look forward to that. Now, we give away the XDK. How do we make money? We want to make money. It is a stated goal of the company. And basically, anytime you're using our cloud services, which are optional, we make money. The over-the-air updates, there's a small charge for your pushing data. Push messaging is something, and in-app payments are two things which we think are going to be very big. Analytics is not a huge revenue thing, but it's a really important thing. It's a really inexpensive. It's like $5 per million data points or something like that. It's like ridiculously cheap. Everything's $5. It's like Subway. $5 $1,000 on the push messaging and $5 $1,000 on the app payments. And it's really easy to set up. It's all self-service at this point, although we do account stuff as well for large opportunities. But you use the analytics and you measure what people are doing within the app, and then you can target to them. Right now, push messaging essentially is event targeted. The auction's over. Somebody logged into your meetup and everybody gets it. This enables you to, just for the Android people or just for the iPhone people, just for the people in the Northern Hemisphere, just for the people in Taiwan, whatever you want to do with the people who have purchased, people who haven't opened the app in a while. And the whole idea with push messaging was reach the people when the app's closed. And that's great. It works very well. It's wonderful. This takes it to another level. There are, again, our competitors in this area. And basically, push messaging is free. You just have to set up and configure the server. If you want to do it for Apple, and then set up and configure one for Android. But it's one of those things where, can you service bureau something? Yeah, you can. And that's what we've done. And we've got two pricing levels. One is for just straight text stuff, and the other is for MMS. It comes in with the same thing you're used to seeing with a push message. And if you want to know more about it, you tap on it. You can then trigger a video, a full screen image, a link out to a website. It's really pretty cool. And again, there's another full demo of that on the site as well. Yeah, let's talk. And there's the Mobius browser. One more thing. And this goes beyond development, but is anybody here managing a whole bunch of APIs? Anybody? We're actually working on doing API management integration. We're talking to a bunch of different people. It's actually a whole other interesting thing. It's you ever work with Mashery or one of those companies which manages APIs for a website? Okay, that's fine. We won't spend much time with that. And if you happen to be an enterprise level company, we will do a white label solution for you. That's what AppNovi is all about. And there might be a question. There's a question I'd like to answer.
You talked about code translation. Is that the Titanium style code translation, or is it the PhoneGap style still where it's kind of wrapped in the web thing?
It is, basically it is complete. There's no layer around. So once it's done, once it's built, it is returned in binary. I don't know how they do it with Titanium. It is really the difference. They have to return it pretty much the same way.
Is it still, so it's essentially still a PhoneGap plus obviously a ton of other services?
Yeah, a whole lot of other stuff.
The core is still that same model.
It is indeed. And with not supporting as many devices as they chose.
And One Touch is your own payment system?
Yes.
Your own backend, your own everything?
Well, basically, we're not a merchant with that. It's essentially a digital wallet where the information stays on the device and then it goes and gets an encrypted key, from the service when it happens. There's a whole separate presentation on that, which I'm happy to.
When are you rolling that out?
Imminently. It's running right now with Fox. It is, we've got. I literally have an embargoed presentation on it, which I'm just waiting for the go ahead and show. I mean, it's like this. It's just all one page. Yes, sir.
Two questions. What's your targets for both the iPhone and the Android? What revs of the iOS, of the OS are you supporting?
What target?
Yeah, for which OS for the?
Which
versions of the OS?
You actually, when you go to the build, you have a choice of what you want to build for. If you want to do for 3.2 or 3.4, we had a situation with the American Heart Association app where we built. No, it wasn't. But the client had not upgraded. The big client, the boss of bosses, had not upgraded his software from 3.2 or whatever. So we had to rebuild for the big ones. But it's there. You can choose what you want to do.
Well, what's it for Android? What's the for?
Again, it goes to we set up and support the most recent, but you can also go back a version or two.
The other question is, when you start doing these microtransactions, are you actually having the money come from our customers to you?
No.
Or how's that?
Whatever merchant service that they are currently using, they will continue to use. Basically, what this is it keeps your encrypted data on the device. It's sent once, so it's not stored in our server or anything like that. It's essentially a digital wallet technology, and the transaction still happens if you're using Bank of America or anybody like that, whoever your merchant bank service is.
That wasn't the question. I'll try to talk.
I'm sorry. Okay. We don't take the money. Yes.
You said you supported various iOS builds, but are you supporting the latest? Are you up to 4.2 or 3, whatever it is?
I can actually go into the XDK and take a look.
What's your target?
I built a thing in a week or two.
And how long will it be if you're supporting iOS 5.0 after it comes out?
We're, we stay pretty current with it. We've been working with the iPhone with Objective-C since before the App Store opened. So it's we're in their development group.
And how long do they think it'll be after it's made?
Honestly, I don't know. I can get an answer for you. I have not had that come up since they haven't really early.
Who, me?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, well, I had two questions. Will you be offering that browser as a control in the main SDK eventually? And the second question was about the direct canvas access. Could you use that same type of concept in more traditional applications like productivity and
Yes,
other apps?
absolutely.
To make them fast when it comes to transitions and animation.
Yes, absolutely. It will support other stuff. The big issue is with gaming,
Right.
with the rendering, but it will be used. It can be used to speed up rendering on anything which is graphically intensive.
Okay, and what about the browser, the mobile browser? Will you be offering that as a static component in your SDK in the near future?
Yeah, it will be available, to be used, straight up. You'll be able to pull it on a device. It will be in the app stores.
Well, you said in app stores, but will third-party developers be able to include?
Oh,
that
included
as
from
static?
right from the website. Yes,
Okay.
I believe we are going to be able to package it together with the application so that they are downloading it right from your site, and they don't have to go elsewhere to do it. That is part of the plan. Yes.
Thank you.
Very good. Good question. Go ahead.
So when you refer to online education, what would that mean?
Online education. Basically, we have a lot of videos, a lot of white papers, a lot of information. We have done some seminars. We've done full-on training sessions where we go into a company for a full day, do things like that, which is not online. We want people to learn. There was another.
What type of metrics are you looking at in the data analytics, and how is that affected by privacy, or what settings people have in the app, like what information gets released?
You can pretty much measure whatever you want to measure. If it's a game, did they pick up the ball, did they throw it, do what pages, the normal stuff you would want to measure. I mean, the danger with analytics is you can end up drowning in data. You want to do the main things, but you can get down to any place you want to do it because you're putting it in as you build it out. Is that
Okay, one more question.
okay? One more. Okay. Okay. Ready.
Yeah, could you touch on the transaction fees a little bit?
Sure.
Is that something that the developer or the developer's company would wind up paying for in the end?
You can actually mark it up. I didn't even get into that. How can a developer make money with this? A couple ways. One, you're developing two applications or more at the same time. How you present that to your client, either you're really competitive or you are billing for two different developments. That's up to you. You can also mark up the various services, the push messaging if you're going to handle that for them, or the transaction thing if you want to do that where you're take a step in between. We're set up to accommodate that kind of arrangement as well.
So in the end, that would be paid for by the developer or developers?
Whoever is going to have the account, and that can either be the client or the developer. I mean, if you're an agency or a development house where you want to take on the responsibility of managing everything for them and say, you just sit over there and don't worry, and it's $7 per thousand and we're charging you $5, that's all fine. However you want to do it, or if you just want to pass it along, fee for service, however you want to do that. But we are working to accommodate that.
No, let's,
Okay, we'll wrap.
we need to